Hello and welcome to today's video, and today we will be looking at the train symbol 5 Euston. We have a Pendolino. It's a article that has come of that last couple of days, and we will find out on what we are going to be looking at and what the layers are going to be and what other things are going to be along with the West Coast Main Line. So one of the most requested trains comes to train symbol 5 Deluxe Edition, layering into the busy West Coast Main Line, along with plenty of other trains and services. In this article we will deep dive into the West Coast Main Line South timetable, outline all the trains you'll get and opportunities for laying from other train symbol add-ons. We also take a look at a brand new mode of gameplay. So I'm not bothered about watching it. So before we jump into the West Coast Main Line action, take a look at the first of the three development diaries, where we hear from the team about how they bring features, trains and routes into Trains and World. In episode 1 we hear more about the recording trip Adam and the team took to LA in 2023, as well as Matt and Chris about bringing our Train Symbol 5 highly requested new features to the players for the first time. So the route, obviously the West Coast Main Line South Euston to Milton Keynes. There is the picture for it. So you got like basically what is all being said from the Dovetail Live direct. So it's all there. It's there for you to have a little look. So Train Symbol has gone from east to west, following on from the incursion of a stretch of the East Coast Main Line Train Symbol 4. This time we moved over to the equally impressive, historic and intensive West Coast Main Line between London, Euston and Milton Keynes. This arterial route connecting some of Britain's major cities to London has seen plenty of action from its initial opening through today's services, with numerous amendments and redevelopments of stations along the way, as well as the never-changing rolling stock that's in use. So there is 350 going to Tring. Its existence is formed from a number of different railway lines that were built and then merged during the mid-19th century. 100 years later, between the 1950s and the 1970s, the route was modernised and electrified to accommodate more advanced rolling stock, including some of the first Hilton trains to operate in the UK. This technology eventually saw the introduction of the Pendolino trains in 2002. So that will be bringing this seller at the same time. So there you go. Lovely bit of branding there. So at its southern end, London Euston adds yet another London terminus to Trains and World. This important station has itself seen major changes throughout its history, and like other stations in the capitals, see the mainline railway mixed with the flow of underground and overground passengers. It plays host over 30 million passengers a year. So quite a lot. Players with previous add-ons featuring London Termini will be able to use Train Symbol 5 new route hopping feature to hop between them. These routes where this is possible, including the South Eastern High Speed St Pancras International, we have got the London Underground Bakerloo line at Paddington, so you'll be underground. You've got London Commuter at Victoria and the Great Western Express at Paddington. Bakerloo players will also be able to route hop between Queen's Park and Harrow and Willesden, which are stations shared across both routes. That's looking crisp, that's quite nice, I like that. We'll talk more extensively about route hopping, including all of the possible hopping locations across all routes in next week's USA focused article. Beyond London, many stations within the Greater London area exist to accommodate the local and regional services heading out of Euston, before heading further north to towns that were massively impacted by the arrival of the railways. On the horizon, landmarks of the BT town like Alexandra Road estate will be seen. There is a lovely 390, best looking train. So the Wembley area sees many of the different type of railway lines meet, all overlooked by the iconic Wembley Stadium to the north. Near Wembley Central and Stonebridge Park plays host to underground and overground services, the latter playable for owners of the Savager Line route add-on, and Wembley Yard, a stable rolling stock ranging from long freight trains to Pendolinos. Nice. Between Cheddington and Leighton Buzzard is the inconspicuous Bridgeo Bridge, sometimes referring to the Mintmore Bridge, which infamously became the location of the Great Train Robbery in 1963. At the northern end of the in-game route is Milton Keynes, where passengers are introduced to one of the most Britain's post-war new towns. That in real life features a rare American grid system of roads and fresh, contemporary take on the British suburban lifestyles. So the trains. A fleet of trains, both new to TSW5 and those in previous TSW routes, are included in the West Coast Main Line route. With Deluxe Edition, players will be able to operate a sleek and more modern Avanti West Coast Pendolino. So the 350. New to TSW, the Class 350 EMU, adding yet another member of the large Desira family of the trains to the game. First introduced in 2005, these trains operate various services from Euston either beyond the map of the locations such as Northampton and Birmingham, or to stations within the confines of the route such as Tring or Milton Keynes. There's in-cab. Though not enabled for the third rail use, these units can be adapted to work via this method. On the West Coast Main Line service, they are operated with an overhead AC electric power. Guard controls are available through the train, enabling easy access for players utilising TSW5's conductor mode and service mode. We'll explain more of this feature further down. The Class 350 will also make the use of the digital display enhancements. Interactive screens have become increasingly common on newer trains and being introduced to TSW, making their ease of use vital to gameplay experience. People will be able to zoom in to these display by clicking on it, located awkwardly in the top right of the cap, and interact with the options such as lighting and view important information of brake and driving force. Boot speed and brake pressure are measured by traditional manual gauges. So the Avanti West Coast 390 Pendolino EMU. Deluxe and Special Edition only. And it will come out as a separate DLC on the 17th of September for £14.99. Running regional high-speed services throughout the West Coast Main Line is the much requested sleek tilting marvel that is a Class 390 Pendolino. Born the innovative tilting technology of groundbreaking test trains, these modern units have been seen powering their way out of London and down to Britain's key towns and cities in the Midlands North and on the way to Scotland. There she is, a nice Pendolinos. Avanti West Coast, a new operator for TSW, are the current custodians of these iconic trains, which are available for players of Deluxe and Special Editions of TSW5. Edition services will bulk out as platforms of London Euston amongst the Class 350s and give players a total different experience passing through many of the intermediate stations at high speed. The trains will come both 9 and 11 car formations and will also make use of the DDE to put view the screen located bottom left of the driver's desk. Like the Class 350, both speed and brake pressure gauge are manual gauges. So the Class 390 also comes equipped with tilt-in authorization and speed supervision or TASS, which is a system unique to the West Coast Main Line. The system monitors the speed of tilting trains, which allows them to travel slightly faster than non-tiltings on certain sections of track. So the 377 Class 2, the EMU Southern unit. Also included in the West Coast Main Line are the Class 370-2s. Units operated by Southern. Unlike their contemporaries found in the previous London commuter route add-on, these utilise overhead AC electrical power and can be switched to third rail use for other areas of the network. The Class 377 is included in train symbol, so you basically don't need to own anything else because it'll come with it. Obviously, the Class 66 in DB Red, which only services for PC and Gen 9, so PlayStation 5 and Xbox X and S. For a change of traction to something bigger and noisier, the ubiquitous Class 66 is included. Though this locomotive cannot change much beyond improvements made from previous train symbol add-ons, it does come with no variation of livery. DB Cargo, adding a red flavour to the train palette on what is otherwise dominated by green shades of EMUs. So basically, the 66 is included in train symbols 5 West Coast Main Line. You don't need to own it on any other content. So it's the same with the London Underground Stock Mark II 1972. An important aspect of the West Coast Main Line is its parallel running with a 7-mile stretch of the above-ground West London Underground Bakerloo line, including stations at Queen Park and Harrow and Wiltshire. The London Underground 1972 Mark II stock is included with the route, allowing players to play along a short stretch of the Bakerloo even if they don't own any previous content. This provides a unique opportunity to drive trains with very different styles along the same route and add more in-game traffic to one of the busiest stretch of line in the country. These trains will have basically they'll be updated, tables, layers and scenarios and gameplay. With so many trains operating many different styles and services and stopping patterns, a robust timetable have been created reflecting the amount of traffic in that busy stretch of the West Coast Main Line receives. As we mentioned in the roadmap article, this has been one of the most complex areas of development, with so many trains interacting with one another from signalling and pathing point of view. So what types? The types of service available to operate in service mode. So you've got the limited stop 350 services like to the likes of Crewe, Rugby, Birmingham New Street and Northampton, but you'll be all stopping at Milton Keynes. The 350s, the all stop ones to Bletchley, Tring and Milton Keynes Central. The Class 350 ECS move between Bletchley sidings and either Tring, Bletchley or London Euston, as well as between Camden sidings and London Euston. Class 3772 services playable between Watford Junction and Wembley Junction Central. So that's going to be a bit of a stretch. London Underground Bakerloo line services between Harrow and Wiltshire and Green Park, as well as some ECS's moved to Sainsbury Park. And obviously the Class 66. So when they get to Willesden relief lines, they'll be playable until Milton Keynes, and they will be all formed of intermodals. So yeah, if you got a Generation A consoles, you're not able to have the Class 66 because it'll crash your old systems. So additional layer is the Avanti West Coast Pendolino for Deluxe Edition players, Special Edition, to Glasgow Central, Manchester, Piccadilly, Liverpool, Lime Street, Wolverhampton, Birmingham New Street. Yet again, you'll be stopping at Milton Keynes. 390s ECS moves between Wembley sidings and Euston. Class 710 London Overground. So if you've got the Suffragette line along the entire length of the Line S line from London Euston to Watford Junction. Class 710 ECS moves with Wilton Yard and London Euston Watford Junction. So the AI services will be when it goes straight off. Train Simple 5 players that recently owned the Cathcart Circle Remastered line and the 380 EMU which is the new timetable, you'll see the layers of 350s at Glasgow Central to represent a time that these trains released for their use. And also the Pendolinos are when you have the Deluxe and Special Edition. Only for the 380 timetable. Conductor mode, which is basically new to train sim world, for the full conductor feature, which for the benefit of British players of British routes we may occasionally refer as guard mode. So it's going to be brand new because we had it on Glossop Line and the LIRR commuter route, so that's going to be ace. And they will be introducing it to other services as well, like San Bernardino Line and Frankfurt. So yeah. Scenarios and gameplay is where you get your gameplay stuff. So the 350 scenarios are Service Saver, Football Frenzy, Back in Service, Heavy Traffic, and the Carriage Collector. The Pendolino ones, Refresh and Refurb, Watford Bypass, and Pendolino. So there'll be Dovetail Football Club as well on the scarves, and that's pretty much it, yeah. And you've got your mystery challenge. So yeah, it's everything with the West Coast Main Line. I'll be watching the stream later anyway, so thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe and comment to see what you all think about what's happening with WCML-TSW5, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.